grab yourself something yummy to sip on. Kick back, get comfy. It is time for a Q&A. I reached out over on Instagram and asked you moms if you had any questions. This could be homeschool related, this could be life related, anything and everything, right? Not just specifically questions for a homeschool mom. So today's video, answering your questions. Stay tuned. So for me, these Q&A videos are super fun. I love them. You guys always have awesome questions for me. There's a ton of questions in this, so I may end up doing a part 2. I am just going to start rolling with it right now. The first question I have, gifts you like to give your husband. I am so bad at gift giving. Okay, we keep things pretty simple around here. When it comes to birthdays, we love to just go out and have dinner together. We love spending time together as a gift. So when it comes to giving him tangible goods, honestly, for him, a new pair of hunting boots, a new pair of work pants. Like, I know it's cheesy, but the man doesn't need anything or really want. He's so simple. He is such a simple man. Both are the same in this as far as our love languages, quality time. We love spending quality time together. So a date night is an awesome gift for both of us. We love quality time spent together. So if I do gifts, they're usually related to our hobbies, our lifestyle, hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, all things outdoors, you name it. Next question. Did you have negative comments from family and friends regarding your YouTube channel? Friends that didn't support you? Okay, this is kind of funny, but I didn't really tell anybody I was doing it. There's a lot of people in my circle who still don't even know that I do this because I didn't start this YouTube channel for my family. I didn't start this YouTube channel for my friends. I started this channel for other moms, for homeschooling families, women who need encouragement in the moment of life that they are in. Whether you're a homeschool mom, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you work from home, maybe you work outside the home. Either way, we all have so many things in common. And so that was my reach and my vision for this channel. I never even really told anybody that I had this channel. I didn't do it for them. So as far as negative comments from family and friends, I really didn't get negative comments. It's very different for my family. I'm obviously the only one who homeschools. I'm the only one who's a stay-at-home mom and all of the things. And as far as YouTube now, it's just another thing. I think my family's used to me. I'm always doing something. I really, truly am always doing something different. And I think my family's just like, oh yeah, that's Jamie. She's crazy. She's crazy. It's good. I own it. So no, I really didn't. And if they did have something negative to say, that's too bad because honestly, this isn't about that. It's not about them. It's about reaching other people. It's about reaching other women. It's about support and encouragement where we're at in a season of life that we are currently walking through. So next question, what helped grow your YouTube channel? This question I get asked so many times. And I feel like on YouTube, you get mixed information. You can get conflicting reviews and different things. I am telling you right now, I have never had that one video that just took off. I've been doing this for over 2 years. It was 2 years in January. This channel has been a slow, steadily growing channel. I do not have a YouTube channel that took off in 6 months and all of a sudden I've got 50,000 subscribers. Like it hasn't worked that way for me. And my advice is consistency. That's what helped grow my channel. And I know a lot of people say that, but just being consistent, being authentic, being who you are, staying true to who you are and what you're wanting to give. That's what it is. Don't try and do something just because it's the latest, greatest. I sent my boys in the backyard to play while I'm doing this, and my middle child just brought me flowers. I love it. So back to what I was saying. Stay true to who you are. Be genuinely, unapologetically you, and the rest will come. Next question is a homeschool question. How many hours a day does homeschooling take us? Okay, I'm a homeschool mom of 3 boys. I have a 7th grader, a 5th grader, and a 2nd grader. And generally speaking, we can be done with homeschooling within 3 hours. Now that is math, language, fix-it grammar if we add in fix-it grammar for the day, and then potentially a unit study. Now I'm working on currently kind of transitioning into a block schedule just because I think that's going to serve our family better for the season that we're in. So this is give or take, right? If I'm trying to get the bare minimum done, if it's a day where things are busy and we're just needing to get the bare minimum done, I can have school done within an hour. That's language and math, and that's all my boys. Now keep in mind, my older 2 boys are more independent, okay? So if that stresses you out or overwhelms you, my 5th grader and 7th grader are pretty independent. So they can do their math independently. They can do their language for the most part independently, while I tend to my 2nd grader and help him do his schoolwork. So don't compare. Don't do that comparison game with this, please. Like, do not, because what we're doing in our home looks different than what you might be doing in your home. And it's different on any and every single given day. Some days I like to add an extra, and we try and hit all subjects every day, including a unit study, including history. That's where things can kind of get crazy. But generally speaking, 3 hours tops a day. What type of date nights do my husband and I like to have? We love anything and everything. We don't go to the movies, rarely, like ever. Like, I think we've been to a movie theater maybe twice. Actually, probably once, as far as a date goes. And it was when we were dating. We don't prefer movie theaters. We like to go to dinner. We love to go to Texas Roadhouse. It's one of our favorite places to eat. Also, just a night away. Just getting a sitter for a night and having that time, even if we're home. We're simple, not fancy at all. I love simple. I love simplicity and just spending time with my husband. If we're in the mountains watching a sunset together, like, it's cheesy, but that's me. That's who I am. That's my husband. I don't need fancy. We are not fancy. Like, for him, the less people, the better. Next question. What's my favorite routine thing to do? That is a hard one to answer. I haven't gone over these like prior to reading through them. So what's my favorite routine thing to do? You all know I love to work out early mornings. That's something I love because it takes the pressure off through the rest of the day. So I love, love, love getting my early morning workouts. I love coffee in the morning with my husband on the days that I don't work out early. I love my calm, relaxed mornings where I can get up, get my workout done, have coffee with my husband, then climb in my comfy little chair or climb back in my bed and turn on Tony Evans and listen to a sermon from him. They're usually about 20 or 30 minutes long. I love doing that. I don't know. My favorite, there's so many things that I could list as my favorite routine thing to do. That's a hard one. Next question I have is, have you ever tried classical conversations? And the answer is no. I have never, ever attempted classical conversations. I looked at it very early on in our homeschool journey. I know it's something that would be a big commitment for me because it is over an hour away from where we currently live to be able to attend classical conversations. And so I really, truly don't even know that much about it, but no, we have not tried classical conversations. Next question. How old were you and your husband when you got married? Guys, this might surprise you, but my husband and I were 20 years old. Well, I was 20, he was 24. Next question. You guys have all kinds of questions about my husband. This must be like, this is kind of fun. I like this. How did you meet your hubby? Favorite part of your off-the-grid cabin besides it's off-grid? Okay, first part of that. That's a 2-part question. How did I meet my hubby? I met him through a mutual friend. But what is really crazy is growing up, he was cousins with the family next door who we spent so much time with. So he was in and out of their house on a regular basis. I seen him. I was around him. He was older than me. I was a young teeny bopper that's like, I don't know who you are. Whatever, like no big deal. He was a friend of my brother's, like legit, he was a part of our life, and never in a million years did I think he was going to be the man that I married. Like I was not even paying attention, not even the least bit interested at that time. And now here we are, having been married almost 14 years. That is amazing to me. And the next part of that question is, what is the favorite thing of my off-the-grid cabin besides it's off-grid? That's a hard one too. I can't pick one favorite thing. I love being away from everything. I love disconnecting from everything, absolutely everything. I love the time with my family, being with my family, totally connected. I love nature. I love the sunsets. I love the sunrise. I love listening to the birds when we wake up. I can't pick one thing. I cannot pick one favorite thing. So I'm terrible at that. You guys know that. Okay, next question, explode the code. This is another homeschooling question. Explode the code, book version or computer version? Honestly, I had no idea there was a computer version of Explode the Code. So all we've ever done is the book version. So my answer to that would be the book version because I didn't know there was a computer version. So yeah, Next question, how did you navigate the early years when you had toddlers in the house? Mine is wild. How did I navigate it? I cried a lot. It was hard. We spent a lot of time outside. When it came to homeschooling, we did the minimum. Like I didn't do all the crazy extra things. It wasn't as far as homeschooling goes, chaos. So if that's kind of what you're talking about in terms of homeschooling, it was keeping it simple. So simple. It was the early years. It is meant to be fun and simple and light, not heavy and all the things. Like that's one thing, if I could go back and change kindergarten with my oldest, it would be simplifying everything compared to what we had been doing. If I could go back and do that again. So when it came to my second and third child, that's what we did. For kindergarten, for the younger years, we kept it simple. So navigating the early years when there were toddlers in the house, lots of outside time, lots of outside play, lots of busy bins. I know a few moms here on YouTube, Dina, Pursuing Peace, and I'm trying to think of some of the other moms who share a lot of toddler busy bin ideas. That's something I don't speak of a lot here on my channel because my kids are older. We're out of that season. So I'm, discussing things as your children are older, whereas Dina is like knee deep in the toddler years. So I definitely recommend Dina's channel. She is over at Pursuing Peace. She shares a lot of good information with toddler busy bins and different activities for different days of the week to keep your little ones busy. I am no longer a homeschool mom of toddlers, but I would say busy bins. I would say outside playtime. I would say let them help you get, as crazy as this sounds, in the kitchen, right? Taking our kids for walks and bike rides and all of the things, just keeping them busy. And this question, what is the toughest thing about homeschooling for me and how do I help it not be? The toughest thing for homeschooling, I would say it's not even a matter of getting the schoolwork done. I would say it's not even that. For me, the toughest thing of homeschooling, I would say, is that comparison trap. In the days of social media and the enemy liking to come at us with every single angle and avenue that he can, there's always something else we should be doing, right? There's always a way we should be doing more, or we should be doing it better, or we should be having more activities, or we should be doing more read alouds, or we should be doing, there's so many things. There are so many ways that I feel and see and recognize the enemy trying to attack me as a homeschool mom. I'm not doing it good enough. I'm not doing enough. Oh, how sad, your kids don't get to have a science experiment today. Oh, you're not doing art with your kids today? How sad. Like I have heard all of these lies on repeat in my head. So for me, that's one of those things that is probably the hardest thing, honestly, about being a homeschool mom is the comparison trap in this season of life. Now, if you would have talked to me in the very beginning, it would have been very much homeschooling. Getting the work done is the hardest thing. And I would have said, I did care what people thought, but that wouldn't have been the most difficult thing. In the early years of homeschooling, it would have been actually getting the work done, like keeping my kids motivated and all that. But now in this season, it's the making homeschooling fun comparison and all of the manipulatives and all of this and all of that and all the bright, shiny things that we think we have to homeschool our kids well, which is not true. Not true at all. So that's one of the most difficult things that I'm kind of navigating in this season of life is knowing that what I'm doing, the fact that my kids right now, I don't know if you can hear it, are in the backyard on their motorcycle, okay? That's life right now. That's what's going on in our home and it's beautiful. There are always going to be flashy resources. There are always going to be new flashy resources. There are always going to be amazing homeschool rooms. There are always going to be all these extra things that make you feel like as a homeschool mom, well, I don't have that, so I suck. Well, we don't do that. So again, homeschool mom fail. Like how sad for my kids. Oh, well, we don't do experiments. We haven't done an experiment in our home. If you're talking like out of a book experiment in months, like literally in months. We just don't. Sorry if you can hear that motorcycle. That's what they're doing right now. They created a jump in the backyard. Yes, I live in town and they're on the motorcycle in the backyard. That's our life right now. That's their experiment. That is their experiment. I just solved that problem myself. They are building a jump that they can try and experiment jumping with their dirt bike in the backyard. That's my experiment. Okay, next question. What are you studying in the Bible lately and what do you all do for Bible in your homeschool? What I am studying in the Bible lately is, and this is legit where I'm at right now because I haven't been going through any specific book. I haven't been studying anything specifically other than the Bible study that I am doing, but that's not something I do every day necessarily. That's more like once a week I will go through the Bible study. But that is Matchless from Angie Smith. I can link it down below in case you're interested. It's a beautiful, amazing, amazing Bible study. I definitely recommend it. But what I am studying, honestly, like I said, I listen to Tony Evans. I try to listen to him every day, but it honestly doesn't happen. I was introduced to him probably 5 years ago, and I still am taking in everything he shares. His messages are so wonderful. What I'm reading through the Bible, honestly, I like to just open up my Bible and find whatever pops out. And that's something that was recommended to me through some friends, actually. I just open my book because I'm not studying anything particularly. I just open it and I search on whatever page I'm on for something, and I will highlight whatever words pop out and go back and look over it and pray about it. Like, that's really honestly where I'm at right now. I don't have anything crazy specific that I'm studying in my Bible. What do we use for Bible in our homeschool? We have used a lot of different things. We have used Indescribable. We have used How Great Is Our God. We have used a book called I Am, which is the names of God, going through the names of God. We are now currently using a book called Truth, which I've really loved, and we will use the Bible. We use a lot of different things and pull a lot of different things in to our homeschool, but I am looking at something specific for this next coming homeschool year, and I'll be sure to share that when I share all of my homeschool curriculum picks and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that if you are interested in knowing what we pick for the upcoming homeschool year. Next question, if you had to pick one favorite homeschool curriculum, what would you pick? I can't. I absolutely can't. I don't have one favorite homeschool curriculum, which is why you see on my channel a lot of different homeschooling resources, because I pull from so many different areas and so many different avenues and put them together. I honestly cannot pick one favorite homeschool curriculum. I can't. Next question is a fitness related question, which is a fun one. What kind of workouts do you do? How many days a week? Okay, so I love CrossFit. I have been doing CrossFit for over 8 years. There have been moments where I've taken things off due to injury and different things like that. But as a lump sum, it has been over 8 years that I've been doing CrossFit. I love CrossFit. Started out super heavy and intense and going into all the crazy things and pushing myself to realizing I cannot do that. That is not working for me. That's not working for my body. So I've scaled back into the season where I'm at now. I enjoy lifting weights. I enjoy cardio. I have a spin bike in my room, just a cheap Amazon spin bike. I love using an app on my phone to do a cycling workout. If you've never tried cycling, you will sweat like nobody's business. It is the best thing ever. I love to run. I have ran a half marathon in the past, and I so desperately want to run a full marathon. Did I say that out loud? That's been a goal for a long time, but guys, I don't know. I want to, but we'll see. So I love running. Really, I like anything and everything. And I try to work out 4 to 5 days a week. Obviously, some weeks I only get 2 workouts in. Some weeks I get 6. Like, it just depends and totally varies. But I try for 4 to 5 days a week, mixing and matching between all the different forms of activity that I love to do. Next question, were you raised Christian, or did you come to it on your own as an adult? On my own as an adult. After trying so many, what kindergarten curriculum do you recommend to someone starting out? Oh, there are so many good options out there. I would say my 2 favorite picks. These are my 2 favorite, okay, that I feel genuinely have what you need to take and run with. I would say Abeka. And I know you're probably shocked to hear that, but I would say Abeka, and I would say The Good and the Beautiful. Their language is solid. Both programs have a solid language. Now, this is going from what I've used, obviously. I didn't start out with master books for kindergarten, so I can't recommend that. And using the upper levels, I don't know that I would recommend that either. I don't know that I would be able to honestly, functionally teach my child how to read with master books, which maybe you can. I don't know, because like I said, I didn't use it. I didn't use it in those grades, but I have used The Good and the Beautiful, and it is solid. I have used Abeka, and it was solid. Like, those would be my 2 picks. And now, obviously, make this fit in your home, because if you've watched any of my videos from the very beginning of my channel, I used Abeka, and I used it way overboard. I did everything, and it was too stinking much, and it was not pretty. So, use to your discretion. Make it fit your home. Don't follow a teacher's guide. You don't have to do all the things. adapt it to fit your home. But those would be my two solid nuggets: Abeka homeschool curriculum and the Good and the Beautiful homeschool curriculum as well. And then pull in fun things like, you know, gather around homeschool curriculum or different unit studies or things like that. Absolutely. But for a core, I would say those would be my two picks. Do you ever think about putting your kids back in public school, or do they ever ask? They never ask. And yes, I think about it, but I don't definitely now, no. Like in the past, yes, it was a struggle. Every year that I had friends that were putting their kids back in school, there honestly was part of me that was like, wow, I wish my kids would go to school because then I could just breathe. Like I feel like I could breathe. Now I'm like, no, I don't want that. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would not send my kids to public school right now for nothing. So in the past, yes, when things looked very different, right now I'm like, no, not even a question, not a question at all. No doubt in my mind, my boys are right where they are supposed to be. So there you go. Okay, next question. How have you fostered a love for reading with your boys with the competing world of technology? We are very old school in our home. My boys have not, very rarely, if at all, played video games. My boys do not have cell phones. We have an iPad, but it's solely for games when we are on the road. So if we are traveling somewhere like to doctor's appointments or those things that are extended trips that are 8+ hours in the car, I will let them play a game on one of those devices. But honestly, it's not even an option. Like we have a Nintendo 64 that was mine when I was a little girl, and my boys put it in their tree fort and they'll play it on occasion. I mean, like seriously on occasion. So we just don't. Zero. Like seriously, very limited, if any, technology in our home. So it's not even a question. They really truly know, nope, it's not happening. Like they don't even ask. It's not even something in them. Like they don't have the desire. They don't. They're outside boys, like through and through. How have you navigated tech safety and hard discussions in today's sexualized culture? Okay, this goes back to the same question. Same person asked both of these questions. And so again, they don't have technology in their face. They don't get to get on the computer and just search whatever they want. They don't even ask to get on the computer. The only time they are on the computer is when they're researching something for gather round, like for a unit study, or if they're wanting to look on Amazon for something specific that they want to purchase with their own money. TV, we don't have regular TV. So that is a blessing, honestly, because with the things that have been going on, I'm like, what? That's supposed to be a family event? And that just like, what? My husband and I don't watch TV, really, like ever. We have a TV in our living room, yes, but it very rarely gets turned on. If it is turned on, it's turned on to YouTube, and usually they're watching Born and Raised, they're watching Hushin', they're watching Diesel Brothers, like things like that. That's what they are after and what they love to watch. So truly, it's just not something that they're really around as far as technology. And I've talked to them about the safety of phones and why they don't have phones. And I've talked to them about the safety of being on the internet and why I am next to them anytime they want to search anything. I've talked about all that with them. They know why they don't have phones. They know about all of that. So just being open and keeping that dialogue open, but then also letting them have room to spread their wings as well, but within boundaries. You know what I mean? So technology it just hasn't been something we've had to deal with, because honestly, it's not an issue. Like we don't have any of that stuff. And I love it. I love it. Next question. How do you find balance to stay off your phone as work is online? Okay, this is the hardest. Okay, not the hardest, because there are a lot of hard things. I say that about a lot of things. This is a very difficult thing to balance staying off your phone with the fact that I want to practice what I preach, right? My kids don't have phones because I don't want them addicted to their phones. I don't want them on their phones all the time. I don't want that to be something we even start or we even have to mess with in our home. I'm not ready for that, and it's not necessary. I don't want them to get sucked into that trap and then sucked into the social media trap and sucked into all of it. Like, not even interested in any of that. So it is a huge balance to try and figure out, okay, posting on Instagram, keeping, that kind of going. Not that I have any goal of growing anything, but just trying to connect in another way to those of you who have subscribed here to my channel that are also on Instagram, then posting videos on YouTube, and then answering comments and answering emails and all of the different things. It is such a balance to try and figure out when to do it, and I still don't have it mastered. How do I balance it? A lot of times I'm up early before anybody in my home. You will notice that if I respond to questions and comments, it's probably random, weird hours of the night or early in the morning, because that's just when I feel I can do it and I'm not taking away from my family. Now, there are some days that I set aside an hour, in the day to answer comments and questions and things like that. It is a huge struggle and I don't have the perfect answer yet. I'm still figuring it out. And a lot of times it's simply a comment comes through and I see it and I can do it really quick. Other times I might not ever. It might be 3 weeks, it might be a month. It just totally depends, because things get lost in all the things. And as far as balancing it, I cannot balance it. I have to be mindful and protective of my time. So a lot of times it means my phone gets turned on silence and it gets left behind. So if you try to reach me, like people in real life try to reach me and I missed your call, yep, that's why. It's turned on silence. That's how I have to live my life. Otherwise, I would be on it all the time, because it drives me crazy to know there's something waiting for me that I need to get to. I like to respond right away. I like to help people and to be there, but I can't, because then I am living for this and in this and not right here with my family, like doing life. So it's a huge struggle and a huge balance, and there's no perfect answer because we're all different and we're all gonna do it different, but it is something that you just have to take each day as it comes and answer what you can and let the rest go. And that is it for today's video. Thank you all for all of your questions. I love doing these Q&A videos. I love answering questions. I love helping to serve you in different ways. A lot of those are homeschooling questions, the workout, the fitness, the getting through the tough days, like motherhood, life, all of it. I love answering your questions. I love sharing our story and our journey with you all. Some of it is relevant and some of it is not, but I love sharing different things that we have learned along our journey, because it is a journey. We are living and growing and changing every single day. And so again, this is our journey. I'm answering your questions, sharing with you what has worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, how I've handled tough seasons of motherhood and life and homeschooling. And that's specific to us, to our home. And if you have any questions for me that you would like me to answer in a future Q&A video, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please give it a thumbs up. It is a simple way to help support my channel here at Simply Living It. I appreciate it so much. I love you all, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.